On January 27, 2023, something very sad happened in Manitoba, Canada. A 32-year-old Indigenous woman named Tara passed away. She was a mother of 4 children and a proud member of the Anishinaabe community. Tara recorded a video on social media. In the video, she shared her pain, fear, and loneliness with the world. She wanted people to understand what she was going through.
Words are never going to explain how I feel. But as an Aboriginal woman, please, people, listen to me.
Her message touched thousands of people, shocking and saddening many across Canada. The video was viewed by over 28,000 people and showed the pain and struggles that Indigenous families face in Canada. Tragically, shortly after posting the video, Tara took her own life. Her death shocked the country. News outlets reported the story widely, and investigations were launched to understand what happened. Tara lived in a home where she was not safe. The people around her were often angry, and sometimes she felt threatened. Every day, she worried about her own safety and the safety of her children. She loved her children with all her heart. She wanted them to grow up happy, safe, and loved. So, she made a very hard decision. She left her home to protect them. After leaving, Tara reached out to child welfare services. She thought they would help her, guide her, and keep her children safe. She believed the system would support her as a mother and help her rebuild a safe life for her family. But it didn't happen that way. Instead of help, her children were taken away. Her heart broke. Losing them was the most painful thing she could imagine. She tried to fight to get them back, but the process was complicated, slow, and stressful. Every day, Tara felt alone, scared, and overwhelmed. She felt trapped in a system that seemed cold and uncaring, even though all she wanted was to protect her children. In the end, feeling hopeless and desperate, she chose to end her life. Canada is known as a modern and developed country. It has a strong economy, good schools, hospitals, and many job opportunities. Many people live a comfortable life in cities, but life is very different for many Indigenous communities. There are more than 600 Indigenous communities in Canada. Even though Canada is rich, many Indigenous people live in poor conditions, far from cities, without good houses, healthcare, or schools. They also face discrimination and racism, which makes it harder for them to take part in regular society. Let's go back to another page of Canada's history. In 1973, a little 6-year-old girl went to a residential school for the very first time. Her grandmother loved her very much. She bought her a brand new bright orange shirt. She was so happy. On the first day of school, she proudly wore that shirt and walked in with excitement. But when she got there, the teachers looked at her and said, "You cannot wear that here." They forcefully took away her orange shirt. That moment was not just about losing a piece of clothing. For her, it was like losing grandmother's love, family's memory, and even own identity. Do you know who she was? She was Phyllis Webstad, a member of Stweshumk-Skatum First Nation Indigenous community in British Columbia. Years later, she shared this painful memory with the world, and her story touched the hearts of many. Because of Phyllis's experience, every year on September 30th, Canada now marks Orange Shirt Day. The orange shirt reminds everyone of this message. Every child matters. It is a day to remember the thousands of Indigenous children who were taken away from their families, their culture, and their dignity by the residential school system. From the late 1800s until 1996, Canada had a system of residential schools. This was one of the darkest chapters in the country's history. The government and churches worked together to take Indigenous children away from their families and put them into boarding schools. In these schools, children were not allowed to speak their own language. They were stopped from practicing their traditions and ceremonies. Their hair was cut, clothes were changed, and they were forced to live like Europeans. Many suffered from hunger, abuse, and deep emotional pain. Some children never returned home. They died there, and their graves remained unmarked. The goal of the system was to take the Indian out of the child. But in truth, it broke thousands of lives, families, and entire communities. Even today, the effects of residential schools are still felt in Indigenous communities. Language loss. Many people stopped speaking their native languages. Weakening culture. Traditional songs, dances, stories, and spiritual practices slowly disappeared. Broken families. The bond between children and parents was destroyed. Health problems. Because of the trauma and lifestyle changes, problems like diabetes, heart disease, depression, and even suicide became more common. Poverty and unemployment. Losing land, traditional knowledge, and self-confidence pushed many Indigenous communities into economic struggles. Tara's story and symbols like the orange shirt remind the world that Indigenous children and families need love, understanding, and support